it says we're live.
All right. We are now live. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Mitten Run weekly or semi-weekly recap show. This is the second of the shows that we've done like this so far. And this week, we've already got a bunch of finishers who have finished the race, the 160-mile trek from Oscoda to Empire. And joining us this week is our first place finisher, Andy Belanger. Andy, welcome aboard and thanks for joining us.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
So Andy is a fellow endurance junkie. And for those of you that were watching the leaderboard, you know that Andy was kind of a ghost for the first 2 or 3 or 4 days of the run when we started back on, I think it was May 20th. And he was, kind of making some comments in the feed on the Facebook group saying, "Good luck, everybody. I'm not running until Friday. Hey, I'm just resting up and all this." And then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, here comes Andy with like 75 miles, boom, and day one. And then how many days was it, Andy, that it took you to finish the all 160 point whatever?
It took me 2 days to finish M22, which is 116.7, but to finish the entire 160 miles was 9 days.
Yeah. So 9 days it took him to run a total of 160 miles. And Andy kind of alluded to it there. Andy, why did you, other than just wanting to go out and crush everybody in the Mitten Run, why were you running such a huge volume early in the race there, early in the Mitten Run? What was tell us about that M22 thing you mentioned there.
So I've been training for the last 6 months or so to run all of M22. If anybody doesn't know what M22, it's a local scenic highway up here in northern Michigan. It's 116.7 miles. Everything I had found was it had not been run completely all the way through. I thought it'd be kind of a cool adventure. I raised a bunch of money for the Belanger Conservancy, and why not? Something fun to do. And added some miles too. So.
Yeah, it was. Let's see. I think I can pull up the page there. Yeah, if we look over on the side of the screen there, Andy's got a Facebook page for Andy running M22. And you raised a couple $1,000, right? And that went to, was it, you said the Belanger Conservancy?
Yeah, I think I raised just shy of $6,000, and they had triple matching, triple matching. So it was like just over $17,000 I raised for them.
That is incredible.
Yeah, no, I did not expect to raise even close to that much. I realistically thought, I was like, all right, let's just go out and I'll put my goal at 5,000. And I thought, if I get to $1,000, I'll be happy. And then it just started rolling in. Then I had some media coverage, and it just kept on rolling in and rolling in and rolling in. I'm like, let's keep it up.
Did you feel confident going into the run that you were going to be able to do it, and you were physically prepared and all that, and ready to hold up everybody's expectations for all this money that was rolling in?
Yeah, I felt ready. And that was part of the reason I didn't start right on whatever day the Mitten Run started, because I had it planned out to start on Friday after work.
Which is the coolest part. You started after work on Friday.
So I sell beer, so I was loading beer into coolers all day long and laboring a little bit. And then after about 2:30ish, or maybe it was 2:30, I started running in Manistee, and then just started heading north. I had some complications. The reason why I had to split it up, I had complications at mile 75, and I couldn't keep anything, food or liquids down. So my body shut down, and I wasn't able to continue. I thought it was over, super emotional. I thought life was really kicking me. And then I woke up the next morning and I felt solid enough to go out and finish the last 41.7 miles. So I ran out and finished up.
So you had planned to do it in one fell swoop, one big run.
That was the initial goal. That was absolutely the goal. And to go 30 some hours straight without stopping for rest. I mean, long rests and whatnot. I mean, obviously there's a couple minute rests here and there for food and whatnot, but the goal was to go all the way through. So I ended up being about 32 hours worth of running.
But I think
you're breaking up there. Okay. It ended up being about 32 hours total, and I had an extra, I think, 8 hours of sleep in there. So 40 some odd hours, all said and done.
But good on you for getting up. You know, you thought you were defeated after you went 75 miles, and you thought, well, it's just kind of the way, you know, life works sometimes. But good on you for, you know, waking up the next morning and kind of doing a self-assessment and saying, you know what, let's try to keep going. I mean, I think that's just as valiant, you know, and you listen to your body and you still made it happen.
Yeah,
So,
it was really tough to have to quit. It wasn't a race by any means. It wasn't a okay. Yes, that would have been nice to have a certain time to get through, but the goal was to finish it. I had no plans. I never even thought about having a split day in my planning at all. And
mhm.
like I said, when I got to 75, I thought I was done. I didn't think I was going back out. I didn't think I was just done. And then I woke up this morning, and then the next morning I felt a little bit of guilt not finishing. You know, I know it was nothing I could change or do. It was the body at that point. Um, but yeah, I felt like I needed to get out there and finish it. And my training had led up to do a lot of back-to-back runs. So I'd do a 50K
Mhm.
with a marathon the next day, or back-to-back marathons. So my legs were used to getting that painful next day run.
Yeah.
So that was part of it. And it wasn't easy the second day. I mean, the legs hurt, but
I'm sure.
I
As
felt like
much
I
as
had.
that rest as much as that rest was nice, you know, it also put a little bit of stiffness into the legs too, I'm sure.
Oh, it kicked right in. I mean, I'd sit down for 10 minutes and my legs would just freeze right up the night after. And it was just, yeah. So a little rest, a couple beers, and some pizza the night after I finished 75, and woke up the next morning. I'm like, gotta go.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
So,
Everything.
did you then drive back out to where did you end that first night?
It was like a quarter mile shy of Schaumburg Road. So
Okay, so kind of western Leelanau County.
yeah, just maybe 4 miles south of Leland on M22.
Hmm.
So we went to the
So you
exact.
drove back out there
Yep.
the next morning,
Yep.
and
But
you said, "Let's do it."
yeah, I woke up and walked around the house a little bit. I got some food in me as breakfast. I don't know, just started thinking, and then I hopped on the treadmill and walked a little bit, did a little running just to make sure my body was going to handle it. And discussions with my wife, and next thing you know, a half hour later, we're back at where we're right where we started, and let's go
So
for it.
you even I mean, it was literally just kind of like you woke up and you looked left, you looked right, and you said, "Let's do it. Let's make it happen."
Absolutely 100%. I had my plans for it would have been, I guess, Sunday was to sit around, do absolutely nothing, and just recover. So I had no. So it was waking up and just going for it.
Oh, that's great. I mean, I think that's one of the parts of the story is that it was, you know, you kind of just rolled with what happened, which in endurance athletics, since events like this, is you have a plan A and B, sometimes down to like E, F, and G, because you never know what's going to happen. You go through such highs and lows that you really have to be ready for anything. And you got pretty low, you pulled yourself right back out. So I
Oh
think
yeah,
that's character and kind of color to the story of the adventure.
thank you. Yeah, that was it was interesting. It was interesting
And
for
so all that through, you said 32 hours of running. It was 112 miles. What was it for the
100
total of M22s?
116.7.
116.7. But the Mitten run is 160 miles. So
So
you
so
ran
my
75 and your legs were stiff and you got up and you ran miles more. And then, you know, you're obviously like what at 116 miles and everybody else is at 4, 5, 15, 20. You got
well
kind of a big lead, but you couldn't squander it, right? Because you knew people like Jennifer Simons were going to be coming at you.
oh, 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 we messaged back and forth a few times. I told her she could take a rest day if she wanted to.
Uh
She
huh.
never did. And so I took a rest. I think I took 2 rest days. And then I looked at the leaderboard and I'm like, oh man, my lead is going away very, very quickly. Everybody, the leaders were putting up 10,
Well,
12, 13 miles a day. And I was like, can't you guys rest for
yeah.
a day? So I had to get back out there and do what
And
I could. It wasn't pretty. It wasn't fast. It wasn't, it was sections off. I think I did 2 half marathons that next weekend, I believe, or during the week. I don't remember if it was during the week on the weekends there. And then I just had to keep on pushing through whatever I possibly could. It was 5 miles here, 3 miles here, and then
Yeah.
I couldn't let Jennifer get too close to me.
Unfortunately, we allow walking as well. Just got to be
Yeah,
walking or running as long as you're covering the distance on foot. So I think you did some of your recovery walks or recovery kind of days. You'd added a few miles in that way too, which is totally fine. And
yeah, that was hugely beneficial because there was a couple days where I wasn't sure I wanted to go out and run, or I knew my legs didn't feel like they were up to it, so I would do a 3 mile walk, and that was beneficial. I mean, it was the intention to go out and walk, so it was technically exercising, and yeah,
sure,
it was, yeah, that made a
that's
huge.
good. Yeah, we don't encourage folks. We don't really allow folks to count the miles for when they're doing groceries and mowing the lawn and this kind of stuff. But if you're walking on that treadmill or you're going out for a walk to get miles in, totally acceptable. And there's a lot of folks who are doing this 100% walking, which I think is awesome.
I think that's great. It makes a huge difference. I've participated in a few other ones, and they didn't allow the walking, or it wasn't this or that, and this made it perfect because
Hmm.
for me, I do a lot of walking when I'm recovering. It's not just
Yeah,
recovering to me. It's not just sitting on a couch and watching TV recovery. It's an active recovery. So it'll be walking with maybe a little running or some biking in there, and it that made it really nice.
absolutely. And for folks who maybe aren't really into the ultra endurance scene, walking is usually even a part of the races itself. Even the way pro, runners are walking parts of these like 50, 100 and plus mile events. So it was weird for me. I remember when I first got into longer ultra distance running to realize that it's okay to walk, and it's kind of encouraged in some parts during the race because I was used to, go, go, go. So walking 100% fine, and it's just part of the equation. So, and I
I
say that too, so everybody else knows that it's okay if you're walking this thing. It's totally fine. It's no problem.
There's no shame in it, and it's out there. You're getting exercise, and that's to me what it's all really about. I mean, getting one foot in front of the other one, getting out there and having some fun, enjoying the outside or the treadmill, whatever it is. Walking.
Exactly.
It's yeah. I walked every single hill on M22, so I did plenty of walking. You can look at some of my times. Jennifer finished way quicker than me in time wise, but
Hmm.
didn't start as early. I mean, I don't know how that works out, but yeah, I was way slower. I mean, my average was like 15-minute miles or something like that. So
It's a weird thing, and if anybody goes to the website right now, I think I can actually pull it up here too. On the website, it shows the results are a little bit wonky right now because the way that the results are sorted is by the distance first, with tiebreaker as the fastest time. So if we go to the mitten.run right now and we look at the overall results, where are we going to find Andy? I think Andy is there. You are in eighth place.
well, I gotta go run.
So we got Andy in eighth place, and we got Katie, who continues to log miles. She's at 199 miles right now.
Oh, okay.
So the reason that this is a little bit wonky is that the way that the results are sorted is just by overall distance first, and then the time is the secondary sorter. So if two people ran 160 miles, but somebody ran it in 20 hours, they're going to be faster than the person that ran it in 41. But here's the thing: some people might run 10 fast miles a day and then take the whole day off, and then 10 fast miles the next day and take the time off. But you did it in the least number of physical days, which is the way we calculated the actual winner. So you are truly the actual winner. Um, and we talked to the folks Run Sign Up who fuel our website and our results engine, and they're working on a way to sort them by actual day finished versus running time or clock time finished. So they're a little wonky right now, and I think I made a post on the Facebook group, but eventually it'll get sorted out, and you'll be back up on the top, and it will show correctly. But that's why it is kind of weird. I know Jennifer, she was smoking. She has an average of 8:37 per mile, and you were a little.
I was like double that time.
You know,
You're
yeah,
breaking.
I see. You're gonna be walking a little bit. So
Yeah. Oh yeah.
so it wasn't the results are actually ranked on what day of how many physical days it took you, whoever got there first, because that makes sense. If you think about this as a race, when we say go, you got to get there. you can take sleep rest, you can take, walk rest, you can, skip a day of running if you want to. But so yeah, that's the way the results are a little bit interesting on the results page right now. So Katie, if you're watching out there, unfortunately, you're going to be, re-ranked as the results kind of come down a little bit. But good on Katie. She's got 46 hours of running in so far at 13-minute 51 minute pace from down there in Toledo, Ohio. So it's really cool to see everybody from all these different areas too. We have people. Our third place, currently listed as third place, David Golis is from Phoenix, Arizona. Jason Whitaker, fellow former Traverse City buddy of ours, is out in Tucson, Arizona. So we got folks from all over. I haven't actually done a full assessment to see who is from where, to see how many states or cities we've got represented, but definitely a lot of folks from outside of Traverse City in northern Michigan. So it was really cool to see that. Well, Andy, any other tidbits of wisdom or experiences you had along your relatively short experience at the Mitten Run that you want to share or tell us about?
Yeah, I thought this was a really good, an awesome event. I didn't think about virtual events being all that fun, and getting into it, and then the competition led in there a little bit. I don't win very often. In fact, I don't win at all. So I'm slower, but I get there. So that made it fun.
Yeah.
Had a chance to win and whatever, get there first. But it was a lot of fun to have a little competition and to see the leaderboard changed instantly. And like I said, I chit-chatted back and forth with a few people and a little trashy talk, but it was fun. So I appreciate you putting this on.
Well, that's great. We were stoked to have you. It was something that we, as an in-person event company, we put running races and triathlons on. We would have never expected to put on a virtual race 4 months ago. But obviously our world has changed and all of us had to adapt in very different ways. So I'm glad you enjoyed it, and hopefully everybody else is out there. And thanks for joining us, Andy, today on the chat and racing the Mitten Run. And we'll see you around for the next one. I think you're signed up for one of our other virtual events, which we'll give a quick plug for, the Endurance Evolution Backyard Ultra.
I am.
Another crazy let's run all night long type of an event. So I'll share a little bit more on it maybe on next week's show, but the Endurance Evolution Backyard Ultra, if you go to eebackyardultra.run, you can find out more about that race. But we'll probably be talking to Andy again on a future recap video as we talk to him about maybe the Backyard Ultra. So Andy, thanks again for joining us. Congrats on your overall win at the Mitten Run. And keep running, man, and we'll talk to you soon.
Cool. Thank you. I appreciate it.
All right. Take care, Andy.
Yeah.
So there you have it, folks. That was Andy Belanger, our overall first place finisher in the 2020 Mitten Run. And it's just been really fun to see everybody coming out and participating in the event and really, competing together while we're apart, as kind of our tagline is for the show. So we will do another recap video, probably, maybe another week or two. We'll see how things unfold, but finishers are starting to roll in. As we noted there, the results are a little bit wonky right now, so we'll try to sort that out as quickly as we can, but know that your results are established and you won't be, everybody's place will get sorted out soon. This all happened so quickly. This results platform is very new and they're actually making changes to it and improvements by the day. So we appreciate everybody working with us as we make our way through all these little bugs and glitches. So we've still got until August 28th for the Mitten Run. You've got plenty of time to make your way to Empire. That gives us, gosh, I don't even know how many days, a lot of days still. And we've still got the relay race to begin. The relay runners actually won't start until, I believe it is June 19th. So we've still got about 10 days or so until the relay runners take off from Oscoda virtually. So hang tight. We'll have more conversation with the relay runners once they get underway here. So thanks for tuning in, everybody. And Facebook and everywhere else. Take care, everybody. See you later.